That's why you have this reach back look and this chicken wing look on the way through, because that's what it's going to look like on the other side.
Right.
Hey everyone, Shawn and my favorite speed trainer, Munashe.
Hey guys.
Right? This guy has gone leaps and bounds, and I'm so happy we're doing this video together today, because I see way too many of you, with the wrong impression and the wrong visual on what weight shift is. And now you haven't been exposed to this with Sav and my teachings there, Mu, but
Yeah.
There was a time where big name teachers would talk about, we're going to load up the weight on the right side. So we're swaying on to the right side.
Yeah.
And then we're going to shift back into the left side before we turn the hips into the target. So it was a long laundry list of things to do.
Yeah.
One of the videos that you'll want to see later on after this video is have a look at best downswing weight shift. An oldie but goodie. This was back in 08.
Okay, yeah.
That information still stands. Yeah. So one of the things that we see a lot, and you saw it in our thumbnail, is on the downswing, so many, like, because you've been speed training a lot,
Yeah.
it's very easy to strain too much.
Yeah, that's it.
And one of the things that you do when you strain is you shove off the backside a little too harshly.
Yeah.
And you get out in front of the ball. Now you got to hurry up and hit the ball before you miss it.
Right.
And that's when you stick it in the ground, a little hosler here and there, you know?
Yeah.
And you're in recovery mode, because now that you're out of position, you literally have to react to not missing the ball, and the ball automatically becomes your target. So if we look at weight shift in itself, so Mu, I don't want to hit you on the noggin there. Come on back here just a sec.
Okay.
So we talk about the walking drill. This is one of the drills that we use. So if I'm walking towards you and I'm sending grass in that direction, you remember doing that?
Yeah, yeah.
So sending grass, sending grass, sending grass. See where I am? The weight shifted from the inside of the right, back to the left from behind. Now my brain has the ground with that lead leg, and it's using that lead leg to bring everything through. But you notice how that back foot is still on the ground. Now if I push off with the back foot, domino effect is going to shove my head way out in front of the ball.
Yeah.
Now the center of your swing, if you look at a one-arm swing, a one-arm bandit, right?
Yeah.
So we got this as the swing, the center of that is the shoulder, and you notice how the club keeps cutting the grass underneath that shoulder. When I bring both arms together to take my grip, the center of this machine is now the sternal notch, right between the two clavicles. So if I shove forward with my back foot, I just shove this in front of the ball. Now the ball's way too far back in the stance, and I gotta go reach back for it. So if I was cutting down a tree, here's my tree, I'm a lumberjack with my axe, heave the axe, deliver the axe through the tree. If I shove off that side, now I'm shaving bark into the ground, or I'm going to have to reach back this way to knock down my tree. That's why you have this reach back look and this chicken wing look on the way through, because that's what it's going to look like on the other side.
Right.
So now let's look at how we're going to remedy that. So you can put a ball on the side of a door frame. So Mu, you're going to take a full backswing and stop. So you can still drive through the door frame from there, right?
Yeah, I can.
Come on in slow motion. Yeah. Now, in order for you to drive through the door frame, notice how his hands are leading, and now he's collecting the ball against the door frame. Notice where his head is, back here. Now, if his head stays back here, notice how his left foot's going to stay on the ground. So now you're collecting the ball from there and releasing it out there, right?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. So let's do that right over here.
Okay.
We'll hit a shot.
Okay.
So you're basically, imagining that door frame in front.
Correct. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're going to hit a draw. You're going to start that ball a little left of that line and bring it back.
Correct. Yeah.
Beautiful. So a little 7-iron, We got the green at 200 yards. It's a little short.
Yeah.
Let me put it up to 215 here.
Okay.
So this is a smooth, relaxed 7-iron. We're just using the weight of the arm hammer unit to squeeze the ball through the door frame to the left of that intermediate point.
That's right.
Good miss.
A little thin.
Thin to win. Little thin 7-iron 215. Thank you very much. So let's see that again.
Okay.
How did that feel with your trail foot?
Nice and stable.
Nice and stable.
It didn't move at all like it
Awesome.
usually does.
Awesome. 106 mile an hour 7-iron. Oh my goodness. Only weight. That was sweet.
Face was a little open on that one.
That's all right. How was contact?
Contact was really good.
Excellent.
Could feel that sliding off the face.
Did you feel you got a little ahead of that one?
Yeah. That did.
All right. So here's a fun little task that you'll like.
Okay.
This will be really good for the thumbnail too, Savvy. You may want to as a backup. So go ahead and set up.
Okay.
And now imagine. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold this down.
Okay.
So do the plank at the same time. And then what you're going to do now, do you realize that you cannot detach your feet? Doesn't that feel different right now in your prediction?
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
All right, so deliver in that direction using the weight of that arm club unit.
Okay.
That's different, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. So now there's no way that you can jump off.
No, you
but
can't.
you can still whip.
Yeah, you can still whip. Yeah.
You can still use your legs.
Yeah.
But you can't jump out of the ground.
Yeah.
Let's see another one.
Okay.
All right.
Just got to figure out.
Obviously, it's
just strange.
it's very strange having me hold you down like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so imagine now I'm holding you down.
Okay.
Because all the numbers are right there.
Yeah.
You're just too thin.
Yeah, that's too thin. So I got to get lower a bit.
That was quieter.
Yeah.
That was quieter. So what we're trying to do is we're going to use momentum to deliver and not force.
Right.
Okay. There's two major enemies to a golf swing.
Yeah.
Control
Yeah.
and force.
Right.
So we want momentum and abandon.
Okay.
All right. How'd that one feel?
Okay. I felt like I forced out a little bit.
Okay. Two more.
Okay.
You're doing great. So just feel like I'm holding on to your heels and you're just using the weight of that arm club unit to deliver. See, I knew it would come off at one point because it didn't affect your speed.
No, it didn't.
Because you were still swinging at 104, 105.
Right.
Without the need to shove off.
Right, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so I'm just trying to find the feel of the weight.
That's it. I mean, the brain's got to reintegrate that new feel into the machine.
Yeah.
Does that feel more grounded?
Yeah, that did feel more grounded.
Very nice. Now, when we talk about stability in the legs, we don't want to feel like we're resisting in the legs. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you'll notice that if you do a practice swing facing the camera move,
Okay.
watch his backswing at how huge that turn is. So he's actually using the legs actively to get his body out of the way. So that rib cage and that pelvis is sitting on top of his hips, and the legs are basically the hips, right? The hip bone is the femur, and the femur is half your knee.
Yeah.
So all that, we glide out of the way, and we use the, now let's see you do a full practice swing. Use the weight of those arms to deliver. That's it.
Yeah.
So when that head stays back,
Yeah.
it anchors that release, and the more your center stays put, the straighter and more solidly you're going to hit the shot.
Right.
So you just got used to a little too much from the back foot.
Yeah, I did.
And now you're making your way to a little bit more stability
Yeah.
without compromising your speed.
Yeah, that's it. The
Beautiful.
anchored swing. Yeah.
So we want both. We want the cake and we want to eat it too.
Exactly. So I'm just gonna.
Ooh, yeah.
Got through that.
That's the flight we want.
Yeah.
That nice penetrating flight. So one of the things that Moo was talking about before, so I'll do a little righty now, Moo.
Okay.
One of the things he was talking about before was how he really enjoys Joaquin Neiman's way of coming through the ball. It's a very potent image, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
So if you look at, we're talking about Joaquin right now, have a look at what's going on. And so you can really see how he's staying with his target and is so deep coming through the shot right here. His head is way back and he's releasing. The full extension is way out here. So he's down with his legs, he's coming through, collecting here, beginning to release there, full release is there.
Yeah.
He's beginning to release here and he's already passed the ball.
Right.
So yeah, he's definitely one of my favorites. If he grew up in Canada and he was a hockey player, he'd be in the NHL right now because that shot would just be like he would bowl over goaltenders with that shot.
That's right.
So I'm going in that direction. So here's a couple of really good drills to start, to finish things off for you to practice this. Feet together. The golden standard for stability. So you glue both feet together, you fuse both arches together. There's no way now that you can let the trail foot off the ground, because if you do, you're going to have to take a walk, right?
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that we did with Moo. Feel the weight. Gather and release. So I can't take my right foot off the ground.
That's really nice.
Did you see that?
Yeah. That was long.
So that was feet together. I'm coming after you.
Yeah.
It was a 6-iron, though. Feet together, 199 carry. That's what I was doing before with that 6-iron.
Right.
That's incredible. So you go feet together, then feet apart, pretending that this is on the ground, somebody's holding on to that foot. There are 3 shots that you're going to need this for. Here we go. So notice that foot is on the ground and not coming off, and I'm not losing any juice. That was another 200-yard carry shot.
Yeah.
There you go, 200 yards carry.
Yeah.
So if I'm ball below feet, please go check ball below feet, Shawn Clement. You don't want to fall on your toes, then you're going to react to that out of balance condition, and that's where you typically have issues with direction. But if you stay solidly planted in balance and you're moving through the ball like Joaquin Neiman and us to the target, the ball will always fly in the direction that you're lined up. You won't ever have to make any compensations for direction. One of the things that you're really going to like about the flat-footed action, that right foot staying on the ground and you not blowing past it, so many of you from this side, when you get to the top of the swing and you fire the right side, notice my center of gravity now. Many of you are letting it fall forward and then you fire the right side. Now you're completely compromised. That's Shank City right there. But if the foot stays on the ground all the way through, it forces the left foot back down. And it forces the hips back behind you and back around.
Yeah.
And that's what creates the space in front of you to get through to the finish. So let's do one more. There we go. Really solid.
Oh, that's
very
long.
planted. Dude.
That's long.
Amazing, huh?
Yeah.
So I use momentum through. This is forced back catapults my arms through into the finish. And now we're 212 carry with a beautiful 6-iron. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. And we'll see you real soon for some more speed training, pitfalls and tips to keep you on the straight and narrow. All the best.